You want to achieve greatness, but you don't know where to start, what to do, or how to act. I am going to show you 7 habits that will change your life. Stop waiting for tomorrow. Act now. Habit 1. Be proactive. Realize the importance of taking control of your life by being proactive rather than reactive. Proactive individuals focus on what they can control, their attitudes, behaviors, and choices, rather than blaming external circumstances for their situation. An example of being proactive is illustrated by Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor and author of Man's Search for Meaning. Despite enduring unimaginable suffering, Frankl maintained a proactive mindset, recognizing that even in the most dire circumstances, he still had the power to choose his attitude in response to the situation. He famously said,
"Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom."
Stephen Covey highlights the concept of the circle of influence and the circle of concern. Proactive individuals focus their energy on things they can influence, the circle of influence, gradually expanding their sphere of control, rather than dwelling on things beyond their control, the circle of concern. A practical example of being proactive is depicted in the story of Anne Frank, who, despite being confined to a small annex during World War II, proactively engaged in activities such as writing in her diary and studying, focusing on what she could control amidst the chaos around her. Habit 2. Begin with the end in mind. Setting clear goals and envisioning the desired outcome before taking action. By defining a clear vision of what one wants to achieve in the long term, individuals can align their actions with their values and priorities. Peter Drucker, a renowned management consultant and author, said, "Efficiency is doing things right. Effectiveness is doing the right things." Habit 2 is about focusing on effectiveness by determining what truly matters and working towards those objectives. An example of beginning with the end in mind is illustrated by the story of Walt Disney, who envisioned creating Disneyland long before it became a reality. His clear vision guided every decision and action, leading to the successful realization of his dream. The concept of writing a personal mission statement is a strong weapon, a declaration of one's core values, principles, and long-term goals. Crafting a mission statement helps individuals clarify their purpose in life and serves as a guiding framework for decision-making. Habit 3. Put first things first. This habit emphasizes prioritizing tasks based on importance rather than urgency and managing time effectively. Here I will show you a very effective strategy called the time management matrix, which categorizes tasks into 4 quadrants based on their urgency and importance, guiding individuals to focus on activities that contribute to long-term goals. Alan Lakin, a time management expert, who said, "Time equals life, therefore waste your time and waste of your life, or master your time and master your life." Habit 3 is about mastering time to enhance the quality of life. An example of putting first things first is depicted by Warren Buffett, one of the most successful investors of all time, who prioritizes long-term strategic thinking over short-term gains. Buffett famously said,
"The difference between successful people and really successful people is that really successful people say no to almost everything."
You should understand the importance of scheduling time for activities that align with one's goals and values, including self-care, relationship building, and personal development, rather than being solely driven by external demands and distractions. Habit 4. Think win-win. This habit emphasizes the importance of seeking mutually beneficial solutions in interactions with others, rather than adopting a competitive or zero-sum mindset. Win-win is a paradigm wherein individuals aim for outcomes that satisfy all parties involved. This approach fosters collaboration, trust, and long-term relationships. An example of thinking win-win is depicted by Dale Carnegie, author of How to Win Friends and Influence People. Carnegie emphasizes the value of empathy and understanding others' needs and perspectives to build mutually beneficial relationships. He famously said,
"You can make more friends in 2 months by becoming interested in other people. than you can in 2 years by trying to get other people interested in you.
Abundance mentality is key, which involves believing that there are enough resources, opportunities, and successes to go around. Adopting an abundance mindset enables individuals to approach negotiations and interactions with a spirit of generosity and cooperation. A practical example of win-win is illustrated by the partnership between Bill Gates and Paul Allen in founding Microsoft. Despite facing challenges and disagreements, they maintained a win-win mindset, focusing on creating value for both themselves and their customers, which ultimately led to their success. Habit 5: seek first to understand, then to be understood. This habit emphasizes the importance of empathetic listening and seeking to understand others' perspectives before expressing one's own viewpoint. Here comes the concept of empathic listening, which involves listening with the intent to truly understand, rather than listening merely to respond or defend one's own position. An example of seeking first to understand is depicted by Carl Rogers, a renowned psychologist who pioneered client-centered therapy. Rogers emphasized the value of active listening and empathic understanding in fostering meaningful relationships and personal growth. He said,
When someone really hears you without passing judgment on you, without trying to take responsibility for you, without trying to mold you, it feels damn good.
Empathy is significant in communication, stating that empathetic listening builds trust, reduces conflicts, and enhances collaboration. A practical example of seeking first to understand is illustrated by the approach of mediators and negotiators, who prioritize listening to all parties involved to uncover underlying needs and interests, leading to more effective resolutions. Habit 6: Synergize. This habit emphasizes the value of leveraging differences and working collaboratively to achieve better results than individuals could accomplish alone. I will introduce you to the concept of synergy, which refers to the combined effect of teamwork that is greater than the sum of individual efforts. An example of synergy is depicted by Stephen Johnson, author of Where Good Ideas Come From, who explores the concept of liquid networks, wherein diverse ideas and perspectives intersect to generate innovative solutions. Johnson emphasizes the importance of creating environments that foster collaboration and diversity of thought. The benefits of synergy can be spotted in problem-solving, creativity, and decision-making, stating that synergy allows individuals to tap into collective intelligence and creativity. A practical example of synergy is illustrated by successful sports teams, where players with diverse skills and strengths come together to achieve common goals, leveraging each other's abilities to outperform their competitors. If you came this far, don't forget to like and subscribe. And finally, Habit 7: sharpen the saw. This habit emphasizes the importance of self-renewal and continuous improvement in 4 key dimensions: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. The metaphor of sharpening the saw illustrates the concept of investing time and effort in maintaining and enhancing one's personal well-being and effectiveness. An example of sharpening the saw is depicted by Daniel Pink, author of Drive: The Surprising Truth About What Motivates Us, who emphasizes the importance of intrinsic motivation and the need for autonomy, mastery, and purpose in achieving personal fulfillment and success. Regular exercise, proper nutrition, and sufficient rest in maintaining physical health and vitality is key. It is also important to engage in activities that stimulate mental growth and creativity, such as reading, learning new skills, and problem-solving. A practical example of sharpening the saw in the emotional dimension is illustrated by the practice of mindfulness meditation, which helps individuals cultivate self-awareness, manage stress, and develop emotional resilience. You should not forget about nurturing spiritual well-being, which involves connecting with one's core values, beliefs, and sense of purpose. Examples of spiritual renewal activities include meditation, prayer, and reflection. An example of spiritual renewal is depicted by the philosophy of Stoicism, which emphasizes virtues such as wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance as pathways to inner peace and fulfillment. Stoic philosophers such as Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus advocated for self-reflection and moral self-improvement as essential aspects of spiritual renewal. They adopt a growth mindset, which involves embracing challenges, learning from failures, and seeking opportunities for self-improvement. Till we meet again.